Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Wednesday edition of the Daily 8 on the News 8 Live Desk. Phil Penarski here with the top stories of the day. We'll get you a look at your forecast as West Michigan is experiencing a bit of a warm-up today, as well as something bizarre on M6 from this morning, but we kick things off in Wyoming today. Police are searching for a suspect who ran from the scene of a shooting that injured a man Tuesday afternoon. It happened just after 4 p.m. on Clyde Park Avenue near 28th Street there in Wyoming. That is according to the police department. The victim was taken to a nearby hospital for that gunshot wound. His injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. News 8 spoke to a witness who lives nearby who says that more than a dozen police vehicles were in the area shortly after the shooting was first reported. Police are asking the community to send any information they might have that could lead to a possible arrest, and they are also advising residents to not share any information on social media that has not been verified by police to avoid spreading any rumors. And if you were driving along M6 this morning, then you might have seen something a little out of the ordinary. About 15 horses were loose in the area of Byron Center Avenue as drivers were making their way to work. First reports of the horses came in around 7:30 this morning. Kent County Sheriff's Office tells News 8 that the horses came from a boarding facility and were able to escape and get on the roadways. It's not clear at this time, though, how they were able to make a break for it. The escape was short-lived, though, as authorities were able to get all of the horses contained by around 8:45. We have a lot of viewer videos and photos of the horses. If you'd like to check them out, just head on over to woodtv.com. And sticking with the animal theme now, after several weeks of recovery, one Michigan State Police canine is back at work finally. Thor was exposed to illegal drugs while conducting a search back in December at a home in Flint. Thor was showing signs of exposure, and his handler had to immediately render aid and drive Thor to the Michigan State University Veterinary Medical Center for emergency treatment. Tests showed that Thor actually tested positive for opioids, cocaine, and THC. Thankfully, though, Thor was able to get the help he needed and survived the incident. MSP posted on social media that Thor was back in action, and he even received a handmade blanket from Quilts for Cops. And last night we heard from President Donald Trump in his joint address to Congress. The speech lasted for nearly 2 hours, making it the longest address to Congress by a president in U.S. history. Following the speech, Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin was tabbed to deliver the Democratic response, which she gave from Wyandotte, Michigan. Slotkin began her response by poking fun at the runtime of Trump's speech, as well as introducing herself to those who may not know much about the freshman senator. Her rebuttal was about 10 minutes in length and focused on economic issues the country is facing, including the new imposed tariffs on Mexico and Canada, as well as a rise in inflation. You can find replays of both speeches right now on woodtv.com. Two ferry companies have filed a joint lawsuit against the city of Mackinac Island over concerns of overstepping by the city council. Sheplers Inc. and Mackinac Island Ferry Company filed the suit in federal court. They're accusing the city of trying to control ferry schedules and fares while also meddling in other businesses. This comes after several years of changes in the local industry, including the recent partnership of the Hoffman family and Sheplers. Both companies told the city that they plan to raise rates for trips on their fleet, and the city rejected it, accusing Sheplers as well as the Hoffmans of trying to monopolize the industry. Sheplers has rejected those claims. The city also rejected the parking rates proposed by the companies last month. And today is a big day for those in the Catholic faith. Ash Wednesday officially begins the Lenten season. Churches all across not only West Michigan, but the world are holding services where parishioners can get blessed with palm ashes placed on their foreheads. This is also a big day for those in the faith as they continue to pray for Pope Francis as he battles an illness that has kept him in the hospital in Rome for some time now. This year's Lent also falls on a Jubilee year, also known as the Year of Hope, which emphasizes love and forgiveness. The Archdiocese of Grand Rapids has a helpful list of all Ash Wednesday Masses in the area. We have a link to that over on our website. Now let's get you a look at your forecast for today. Here is Storm Team 8 meteorologist Matt Kirkwood.
Well, the story today is this strong area of low pressure that's going to move right across lower Michigan. We'll be on the warm side of it, but boy, you can see there's a lot of cold air and snow on the back side of it. That'll eventually impact us tonight, but showers throughout the day and in the breezy conditions. It's going to be mild, low to mid 50s out there, and then on the back side, the wind really kicks in. We have a high wind advisory along the lakeshore. Looks like 7 p.m. this evening, and then 10 p.m. for our southern counties for wind gusts up around 50 miles an hour. What we're tracking out there, we're going to squeeze in one more mild day before the cold air wraps in. Rain to snow tonight with some wind gusts again up around 40 to 50 miles an hour. And we'll begin Thursday with some strong winds and a couple flurries, but cooler temperatures will really take us right on through this upcoming weekend as it appears. No big system after this one. It looks like just a few flurries possible Friday and also into Saturday. That'd be mainly south on Friday. Look at the big time warm up for next week, possibly our first 60s of the year.
All right, thanks, Matt. And we end today's show with some heartwarming news for one Portage man. TJ Day was riding his bicycle to work on Lover's Lane in Portage last month when he was hit by an unknown driver in a car. The driver fled the scene before authorities arrived. Day is still recovering and spent some time in the hospital after the incident, but after we first brought you that story, the community rallied behind Day. His GoFundMe has now reached over $20,000, and he plans to use that money to buy a car in order to get around. We spoke to Day and his sister, who wanted to thank the community for their generosity. Day also said he hopes to be back at work sometime next week. All right, that's going to do it for us today on the Daily 8. We will have 8 more stories lined up for you tomorrow on everybody's Thursday edition of the Daily 8. We hope to see you then. I do want to thank everybody so much for tuning into this latest edition of the News 8 Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.